Sensible Part 2.
Okay.
Right. So Sensible Part 1 ended in 2013.
It's 2012 in the making.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
2013 we folded. We went our own ways. Nothing. Right.
Yeah.
After that 4 years there was a gap. I went back to Startup Village, Kerala.
Right.
And then I went to a US based RIA who invested in ETFs through a robo advisory. I was like a head of product there. Blah blah blah. So one of these days, 2017, out of the blue, Malik, Nitin, Malik gives me a call कि भैया free है क्या? I'm like क्या हो गया? Like I am thinking of building a platform for options. Like it's like a very interesting opportunity in India, and I was wondering if you could help me build it, like a consult for me and try to build this platform. So I'm like,
Exciting.
we can look at it.
Okay.
I was kind of lukewarm. Like we can look at it. I don't know what you're building, so let's catch up, right? So he once called me for lunch with his wife and kid in one MG Bangalore. It was 2017 July, and so I just looked at the entire scope of what he wanted to build and said, "Ki yaar, dekho, nobody can consult you into building this thing which you're trying to build, right? You have to hire somebody full time to get this thing built. He will need a tech team. Like it's like a huge project. It's not like a consulting gig or something." Like within the next 10 seconds, he says, "Ki okay, why don't you build this as a company? I'll fund it." I'm like, eh?
This was the plan all along, man. Nitin knew this. He's like, I'll first pull him in and then be like, Karo.
I'm like, "Ki, let me get this right. You're telling me that you're going to gift me a company right now and fund it also." He's like, "Ki yeah, आप इतना प्यार करते हो?" यार क्वेश्चन तो बनता है लाइक क्यों कर रहे हो He's like, नहीं I'll tell you some other day why I am doing this, right? He said he'll tell me some other time why he's planning to do this, right? So I'm like, okay, fine, thanks. So I didn't, like, I thought about it for exactly 10 minutes. Like at that time I wanted to say yes, but then I thought फिर भी एक दिन थोड़ा मतलब वेट डाल लेता हूँ कि सोचना है बॉस मेरे को सोचने का तो कुछ नहीं था, बट नेक्स्ट डे आई टोल्ड हिम हाँ चलो चलो लेट्स डू इट. So he's like, okay, fine. And that day I went to my ex-boss and said ki, I want to quit. So they were a husband and wife couple. Both of them were traders with, Tower Capital at that time. And my
Tower Research.
He was one of the first HFT guys of Tower Research.
Oh, damn.
And the wife was in Brevin Howard, which was also a hedge fund. Brilliant people. So the husband said ki beta, no, don't take this risk and all. The wife asked me ki kya hai offer? What is this thing? Who is this from? And then she heard the whole thing and said, "Aaj nikal le, kal start kar le."
सोचना नहीं.
सोचने का नहीं इसमें, कोई फ्री में तेरे को बिजनेस गिफ्ट कर रहा है. I'm like, okay, fine, ले लेता हूँ. So then we started building, right? And this is so basically everybody thinks कि मैंने कुछ उखाड़ा है, there is some struggle, I have done something to build something. Nothing. Anybody can build an option trading platform, which is the biggest option trading platform in the country, on Zerodha. Nitin decided to give that lottery to me instead of somebody else. No, I'm serious. Dude, I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it. Dude.
This is why I love you, man.
No, yeah, truth है, थोड़ा truth है, कुछ भी बोलो truth है, right? Ultimately, we are the product of our circumstances. There are some people who create circumstances around them, who change the world around them. I haven't done anything like that. The world aligned in my favor, तो मैंने थोड़ा हाँ बोल दिया बस, right? So then we started building Sensibull, and it was easy, right? Like Zerodha suddenly became the largest platform in India. All of the serious traders in Zerodha were Sensibull. I mean, Zerodha were
I
option
remember
traders.
we were in the ground floor of this building.
Yeah.
And you introduced me to Balaji. I'm like, hey, meet Balaji.
Correct.
And then I'm like, dude, what are you guys building? It wasn't even called Sensibull. I think it was. I don't
The
think
product was called Sensibull.
it was called Sensibull. Okay, ठीक है.
In fact, Nitin,
that was a different company.
Nitin
Okay.
insisted on the same name as the 2013 version.
Oh, it's just
Right, so
legacy.
yeah. So,
And I went, I'm like, dude, what is Sensibull? I was like, this is such a weird name. And then you told me, why Sensibull?
that is how us Malayali people say the word sensible.
Exactly. Say it for me once.
Sensible.
And then Balaji's, I'm like, Balaji, what are you building? And he's like, it's a math platform or something. I'm like, what? I don't understand what you guys are doing. It's a math engine. He said it's a math engine. I'm like, what? What are you building?
Yeah, it was also a math engine back then, but then it evolved to be many other things.
Yeah, correct.
But basically, yeah.
When I heard of this, right, I'm like, acha, option. So first, okay, here's the sequence of what I thought of the and how wrong I was. But okay, I'll be honest. Okay, I heard this. I'm like, so they said option में सब analyze कर सकते, सब data आएगा, सब. I'm like, अच्छा. Options तो मुझे समझता ही नहीं था. I didn't even know what it is. I hadn't sort of an idea. And jabki I'd been trading for a long time, I'm like, option, I will not do.
Yeah,
Equity is fine. And what I understood from that conversation was, first, someone will have to open an account. Very tough to do, okay? Then they'll fund the account. Then they'll choose not to do equity or intraday, which is like where you start. They will choose options. They will burn their hands at options. They'll understand option theory. Then they'll subscribe to Sensibull. And that's how these guys will make money. I'm like, look, they're going to have like exactly 5 subscribers. And that's going to be the business. This is a lot of work. But dude, like, oh my goodness. Like, I mean, you guys have done pretty well.
We didn't expect this also to be true, right? Because
But why did you, I'll say bet on that, right? Because it feels like it's a tiny audience, right?
Correct.
That someone needs to want to trade options consistently with all of the information of how options work and use that information, right? The analytical engine. तो मतलब ये तो बहुत बड़ा bet है यार मतलब.
So here's the thing, right? To be thoda fair with it, I didn't do it because I thought it will become a big business, right? I didn't do it because I thought it will be, valued at whatever we are valued at, blah, blah, blah. But I started it because, again, right? I was a gambler. My personal pain is gambling. What I really, really dislike seeing among my friends is कि बेवकूफ behavior की वजह से people lose money in options. I saw there's a problem to solve, right? Now, if you really like solving a problem, you typically don't look at how big a problem it can become.
This is beautiful, right? Because we have shared a lot of VC stories.
Yeah.
And I think all they really care, they say they care about solve a problem, but they care more about how large a problem that is.
Correct.
And they don't care about how well you can actually solve that problem as much, as long as the target market is very high.
Correct.
And that makes actually no sense.
Correct. So the thing I realized from my first episode with Sensibull is that when I started Sensibull in 2013, मैंने सोचा कि यार 1-2 साल कुछ कर लूंगा, फ्लिप कर लूंगा, पैसे लेके भाग जाऊंगा, right? And that was my seriously.
Like that?
Yeah, I honestly legitimately thought when I started Sensibull first कि 1-2 साल का बात है, थोड़ा पैसे उठा लेंगे, बड़ा कर लेंगे business, VC को flip कर लेंगे, भाग जाएंगे.
Out.
Like 21 दिन में
That is very...
That's what I thought.
Sensible.
Legitimately, right? Really. Like I have nothing in admitting this any really stupid thought process, but this is what I thought.
But Balaji also made a lot of sacrifices, right? He had his offer.
I'm talking about 2013.
Acha, 2013.
Right? But 2017, this time I thought कि boss यही करेंगे life भर कि because I like doing this thing. So because if you ask me, right, कि कल एक cosmetic का business start कर लो, right? It's a very large audience, right? Half the people in the country want cosmetics. But यार मेरे को कुछ नहीं पता. I can't connect to it. I don't like the problem. In my house, nobody even uses like I'm like कि you can do it for money for some time, right? But you can't do it for
Not
money
likely
for
to be good at it or the best at it, probably.
No, but the worst problem is you can't keep on doing. See,
for a consistent period of time.
It's like this, right? People say कि marriages are not made in the exciting times couples spend together. It is really, really made in the drudgery of shopping for stuff on mundane aisles of supermarkets, right? That's what makes a marriage. 5 years from now, if you really want your marriage to success, you have to put a lot of effort into being with a person who you really like, regardless of how good looking or how
absolutely
how whatever it is, how rich or successful or social validation.
Correct.
You have to fundamentally like the person. It has nothing to do with the person. It is about the two of you,
100%.
what you create together, right? Ultimately, a startup is not very different from that. You have to go every day in, day out, put effort. And if it's not something you fundamentally like, even if somebody is going to write you 100 crore check, you can't do that. Nobody can be so madly in love with their own legacy that they'll forget what they really like for the sake of being on Fortune 500, right? So this I realized, and I told myself in 2017, ki dude, I like doing this thing. I don't know how it will be big or small or something, but I don't mind doing it for 5 to 10 years, even if it is going to be a small business, right? This I told myself. Once you make peace with ki boss, I am happy doing it forever, even it means that you're only going to be running Adayar Anandabhavan on Bannerghatta Road, us type ka business, then you've understood ki this is my worst case, I'm going to make peace with it, right? Uske baad anything happens to you, that's an upside.
It's an upside.
So this was the mentality we came in with second time, which I think has helped a lot in terms of being here, right? And I think that is the single biggest reason why we could kind of make peace with the fact that it's a small market, niche market, karenge. I think whatever happened after that, this influx of Indian equity investors, bonus, etc.
Oh, yeah.
COVID, etc. All of that is a bonus.
Correct.
Mila, theek hai. I mean, I kind of feel bad sometimes that the single biggest propelling factor of our business has been a pandemic. I'm really sad about that. It's not a great thing to admit anywhere, but we also know that this is a reality. But yeah, even if none of that had happened, we would be happy playing a small niche, solving a small problem for people who I connect to, who are people who lose money in markets.
This is beautiful. I felt like बहुत कुछ ऐसे profound हुआ है.
Yeah, but reality.
ऐसा देखो, guys, I took out a profound thing from all of the videos. This is I really enjoyed this. यार तू कितना कमाता है?